5, 6, 7, 8. All right, hey everyone, my name's Aris. I was helping me out today. This was our first class of the new year, the first class I was teaching this new year at Avalon, so thank you guys all so much for coming. And we talked a lot about basic connection and just kind of getting a little bit more proficient about it. Again, as I always say, the idea is we're trying to make it easy to have better dances and just have more fun, rather than necessarily thinking about a gazillion different technical things. So I'm going to show this a little bit out of order. I'm going to show everything I talk to the followers first, then everything I talk to the leaders, all right? Leaders, please don't turn off your phones now, all right? So from the followers' perspective, the idea is that, I'm following right now, the idea is that followers are the ones traveling to find connection. And the first thing we did was we had the leaders close their eyes and just point at the followers. And the followers, by moving their low back and trying to connect, thinking about the low back in the handhold, telling the leaders where they were. And the leaders should be able to feel this, all right? Whether it's just shifting side to side, whether it's tripling, the leaders should be able to feel that, all right? And then we moved on to doing that with some patterns. The next thing that we did for followers was thinking about how we connect on count 4. So on count 4 of all these basics is where the connection begins to grow, where we begin to think about anchoring. So we kind of had our followers stand with their elbow around 90 degrees, weighting our left foot, and pushing back into our count 4. And the connection should be pretty light at the beginning, and by the end of the count, the leader should feel where we're at, all right? And then kind of similar, building off that first drill, anchoring by tripling more or less in place. And really, we're just thinking about keeping this connection here, all right? So followers, if I were like taking 3 giant steps back and the leader was doing a good job giving me a place to stretch away from, I would disengage, my shoulder would come forward. So really, I'm kind of trying to find connection, but how far back I step is going to be dependent on I'm just trying to keep this feeling, all right? And what the leaders did was give feedback for if on, for example, 5 and 6, as the followers let go of the connection, we didn't want to let that happen. We wanted to maintain it just as this baseline for the whole thing, all right? And last thing for followers was just this idea of switching walls or hanging back in the connection, where followers, leaders should be able to feel them still hanging into tension through 1 and 2 before switching either into compression, if it's like a push or a tuck, or if it's a pass, switching to moving backward toward the opposite wall. So around the end of count 2 is when that occurred, all right? Now for leaders, we talked about just the initiation coming from that same place of the low back. So rather than trying to step on the left foot and not bring our follower with us, I'm pushing off my right foot, I'm thinking about my low back, moving my low back down line, and this is what's bringing my follower with me and creating that connection, all right? Secondly, to give our followers a place to stretch away from, at count 4, our hands stop moving toward our follower, and then we can both kind of just back up a little bit, tripling, slightly in place, slightly behind this, all right? We had a great question about followers travel and leaders finding stretch. If I get a follower who maybe can't travel as much as I expect and they stay in place on 4, I need to be able to read that and shift backwards. So we had a few patterns where the followers were kind of cheeky and didn't move a whole lot. And if my follower doesn't move a whole lot down slot, I'm taking my 4 backward rather than forward because I'm still trying to find this same connection. We had a very great observation that yes, the hand stays in place. I'm just trying to connect with her if maybe she can't travel far enough, all right? We just did a lot of basics, all your 6 count moves and tried this out. I thought you guys did great. Thank you so much. Thank you.